2024 has brought us so many incredible movies. We're nearing the halfway point. Let's go over the remaining releases for the rest of the year.
What is up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast, and we're halfway through the year. We've already had a great run of films. A couple of all-timers have come out in the last 6 months or so. Dune Part 2 has been my favorite film of the year so far. James, I'm guessing it's yours as well?
Obviously, of course.
And then Perfect Days from Wim Wenders is my second favorite film. And we've had a bunch of other great movies come out this past year, but there's still a lot to do in 2024. We have dozens of releases, very major ones, huge franchises, a couple of reboots. So there's a lot to get into for the upcoming releases, and a lot of things I'm really looking forward to, as well as we can talk about some of the films that will definitely be competing for Oscar season later in the year.
Absolutely. We might as well start with movies that are coming out this weekend for the May 24th weekend. We have Atlas on Netflix, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, Garfield, and Hitman.
So Atlas, I'm not sure if you've seen the trailer, is a Netflix movie starring J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. And
I saw this trailer. She's like in a robot suit, right?
Yeah, a robot suit, yeah. It's like a mecha suit, but she's a data analyst who has a deep distrust of AI. And she has to capture a robot. That's the thing you've seen. And they're fighting against an AI that wants to destroy humanity. And the AI is played by Simu Liu. This is from the director of those Dwayne Johnson movies like Rampage and San Andreas. So this is going to be a Netflix release. I like the idea to take a role where it's just her in the film basically dominating the entire story. So I think it's a good move on her part. I'm not totally sold on this trailer or marketing, though.
All right, we have about 200 movies to talk about, so let's make them a little quicker when we're discussing them.
Sorry.
Because no one's going to watch Atlas, Anthony. You're just talking about it for 5 minutes. I'm like, bro, we have to talk about 7 months
So the origins of the screenplay.
Can you fucking speed it up? All right, let's go. We also have Furiosa, which is coming out in theaters this week. I had a chance to check this out very early a couple of weeks ago. It's a terrific time. I think anyone who is a fan of Fury Road is going to adore this movie. It's so fantastic. Then we have Garfield coming out, a big animated film that will be voiced by Chris Pratt. Everyone's excited about this.
Who hasn't he voiced now?
I know, right? Then we have Hitman at the end of the week as well. Also, just in select theaters. Now, this was directed by Richard Linklater, starring and co-written by Glenn Powell.
I'm really excited that this is being released in theaters for 2 weeks before Netflix, because that's what we were talking about, how much we are looking forward to this film. So now to know that we can watch this in theaters, I'm super jazzed for it.
Super jazzed. To end the month of May, next weekend, we have In a Violent Nature in theaters. We have Jim Henson, Idea Man, a documentary about him on Disney+, Robot Dreams in select theaters, and Young Woman and the Sea.
So Young Woman and the Sea is the Daisy Ridley swimming movie based on a true story of a woman who swam across, what was it, an entire body of an ocean, or was it a huge body of water of some kind?
I believe it was the English Channel?
English Channel, thank you,
remember.
The channel. It was I think a 12-day swimming journey, and it really did happen. Interesting trailer. It's a great biopic look to it for sure. And then Jim Henson is the documentary about the master puppeteer Jim Henson in his entire career and the company and world that he built. And
then In a Violent Nature is the horror film coming out that is from the perspective of the killer in theaters. And I believe this one is also, it's rated, it doesn't have a rating. It's unrated, so it's going to be hardcore as hell.
It's going to be unrated, and I think they'll also release a rated R version, but I want to see the unrated version for sure.
Next up, to start the first week of June, we have Bad Boys Ride or Die in theaters.
They're back.
Hitman will be released in Netflix, so at first it's going to get a limited release in theaters. Then on June 7th, it'll hit Netflix, so you can watch at home. And then we have The Watchers, which is another movie you can check out in theaters.
So Bad Boys 4, and I think they've already greenlit Bad Boys 5. Not kidding. I believe they've greenlit it, because they do pretty well. The last one made $200 million, so it did well. Not going to lie, the trailer doesn't look that bad. I don't know if you saw the trailer.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
It's very tactical.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but it looks like some pretty fun action and just the two of them goofing off. But they are looking their age now.
Yeah, they're looking their age.
They're looking pretty old, man.
They're looking their age.
And then The Watchers is the first film from M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, which is based on a novel of the same name. And stars Dakota Fanning and a group of other actors who are stuck in this glass, I wouldn't say prison, but interior room in the middle of a forest. And there seem to be some kind of monsters or creatures that come out every night that are watching them, hence the title, dun dun dun. And I'm sure it's going to be shrouded in mystery, and we'll get the big reveal by the third act with a huge twist in keeping with her father's traditional storytelling methods. It looks like a really interesting horror film. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Written and directed by Shauna Night Shyamalan.
Thank you.
Moving on to the second week of June, we have Inside Out 2. We have Firebrand, Ultraman Rising, Tuesday, Bucky fucking Dent, and Treasure. I don't know what almost all of these are.
I can help you out here. Inside Out 2 obviously has a few new cast members in terms of the young girl growing up and getting more emotions. Anxiety looks to be like the big new one. And
that's Io Debris, right?
It would be Maya Hawke. And then
Okay.
Io Debris is playing someone who I don't believe has been released yet what her role is exactly. Whereas Ultraman is an animated action-adventure film set in Tokyo, where Tokyo is threatened by giant monsters, and an athlete takes on the mantle of Ultraman, which is a superhero character in that world, to become the legendary hero. So it's going to be an animated action superhero film for families and kids.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that. It looks pretty cool.
But let's get into one of my most anticipated films of the year, and something that was delayed. It should have already come out. It was supposed to come out last winter. And we're talking about Jeff Nichols' next film, The Bike Riders, starring Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, and Jodie Comer. This is going to be a fantastic film. The fact that they obviously pushed it back for the SAG strike, not being able to promote the film at all. This is a movie that relies on its stars to market it because it's a small drama about a motorcycle gang, so it doesn't have that much. I doubt it would make too much of a box office splash. It could do well, but you definitely need those actors promoting it to make it earn some money for the filmmakers and the production company. But the Bike Riders looks like it could be a huge Oscar contender this year, especially because they originally planned to release it last winter, which is Oscar season. So I cannot wait. I love Jeff Nichols. I love the cast. The second trailer is incredible. Right now, it might be my most anticipated left.
And then we have Trigger Warning, which is a Netflix film starring Jessica Alba as a Special Forces agent. We have Thelma, which will be in theaters. Now, Thelma, haven't we talked about that? It's the old lady movie. It's the old lady movie.
Oh, the trailer,
where
yeah.
She's getting revenge.
So the old lady,
then,
she gets scammed and then takes retribution back, but like a funny action comedy while.
And then we have Kinds of Kindness, the latest film from Yorgos Lanthimos that he secretly made last year, starring Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, and Emma Stone. Hits theaters next month, which is crazy to think about. Crazy.
I don't even know what this movie is about, but I'm gonna see it. You bet your goddamn ass. Also, it was just announced that Yorgos is making another movie with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
they just sold the rights to it. He just keeps churning them out, and it makes sense because Poor Things won the Oscar for visual effects, so I'm sure the post on that film was quite a long time. So then they shot this during the post of that film because it's not like a huge CGI spectacle, but there was a lot of intense CGI in Poor Things. So I'm sure he finished it a long time ago. Actually finished the production of it, but I can't wait for this. It looks like an amazing movie. All sorts of different aspect ratios and film stocks and coloring, and it just looks like a mad fun adventure.
Let's talk about the end of June, the weekend of June 28th. We have another highly anticipated film for this year, A Quiet Place Day 1, which is probably going to be the biggest horror hit of the year. Everyone is excited about this. The previous two films are excellent. Then we also have an A24 film, Janet Planet. Then we also have Last Summer, Horizon, an American Saga, which is a Kevin Costner 2-part film saga, A Family Affair on Netflix, and then Daddy-O, which will be in theaters as well.
So Daddy-O is starring Sean Penn as, I think, the title character, and then Dakota Johnson. It's about a woman who gets into a taxi at New York airport and gradually tells the driver about her unfortunate decisions that led to an affair with a married man. The driver also reveals more about himself and his life, so it looks like a very small 2-character study in one location, which I think seems really interesting. You have 2 fantastic actors, and I haven't seen Sean Penn in the last several years, so it's cool to see him back on screen. And Dakota expanding her career, very talented actor. But I think A Quiet Place Quiet Place Day 1 looks fantastic. And I know we make fun of the origins and prequels, but this looks like a really interesting version of this world building. I think it's cool to scale it higher and just set this story in a metropolitan city. And we're gonna get.
They did a great. Yeah.
Go ahead.
They've done a great job with their marketing campaign too. They waited for a while to release their full-length trailer, which came out about a week ago, and it looks excellent. It really does.
And then to get a great cast of Lupita Nyong'o and then Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, and then Jaemin Hunsu coming back, and I'm sure we might get the origins of how he got to that isolated island, which we saw in A Quiet Place Part 2. So I think if you're going to do a sequel or a prequel, give us something different. And so seeing this happen in a huge packed city, I think it's very exciting. And I think that trailer was really intense. I can't wait to see this one.
Let's talk about July 4th weekend. We have Beverly Hills Cop Axel F dropping on Netflix, the long-awaited 5th film in the franchise, or 4th film in the franchise.
4th.
We have Despicable Me 4, which I saw the trailer for in theaters a couple weeks ago. It looks hysterical. It's just dumb fun.
What's like really, the basic plot of this one?
The plot of this one is, what was it? He has kids now, right?
Yeah.
There's his old nemesis is coming out of like prison and is gonna take over the world again, something like that. So funny. He's a good guy now, obviously, but now a supervillain who's been released is back at it. But it just looks fun. The minions are in full swing in this one. It looks very funny. This is a funny sequence where one of them gets stuck inside a concession machine. What are those called? Like in hallways.
Oh, a vending
with
machine.
Snacks. Vending machine. It's really good. It looks silly. I laughed out loud 3 times at the trailer in theaters. So
I wonder if the boys will be showing up that time.
I bet they will. We also have Space Cadet.
Hold on.
Amazon Prime.
You're getting a little ahead because we got to talk about the worst film title in the last 20 years, I'd say, and that's Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
It's pretty bad.
It's terrible. I can't understand.
Axel F.
I don't understand Axel F. I don't understand. Just
call it Axel Foley.
Just call it Axel Foley, because everybody who was fans of the franchise in the 80s, they know what it is. You don't have to sell them with the title. It's not like young people are like, oh, a Beverly Hills Cop sequel. Whoa, they don't even know what it is. And it's interesting. It's pretty ironic. July 3rd, we have the two franchises with their 4th films competing against each other.
Yeah, and then we have Space Cadet coming on Prime Video, which stars Emma Roberts, who is, I believe, NASA's last hope to save the planet or something like that.
Okay.
She's like a party girl who's also a super genius and has to save a mission. And then we have, I don't know.
Party. Sorry.
She's like an EDC. I think she's like an EDC raver. Then they're like, she's our only hope.
What?
She's gonna take Molly. She's gonna take Molly and go to space.
Are you serious? Or are you making that up?
I swear to God, I believe that's the plot. She's like She's like smarter than everybody. She's a party girl. Yeah, that's the synopsis. I swear to fucking God.
EDM raver is gonna save us.
And then.
Just got back from Burning Man. Time to save the planet.
Exactly. Coachella this week, space next week.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to the moon. Going to the moon, bitches.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And then we have the year of Ty West continues with MaXXXine getting a release in theaters on July 5th. They just released a poster for it as well.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive.
Between that and A Quiet Place, those are, I think, the 2 biggest horror hits of the year.
MaXXXine has maybe the best trailer of the year right now for films that haven't come out yet. And I think that this could be a massive hit for A24. It looks like Ty is checking all the boxes that people crave in the horror franchise that haven't really been hit in a long time. Going back to the giallo horror films in the 70s and 80s with horror, I think that the things that have always used to work will still work, which is why I expect this film to do really, really well. So I think A24 has something really big on their hands with MaXXXine, and it could catapult Ty West to finally becoming maybe close to a household name.
Don't talk about Ty West like that. He already is.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
For us, for everyone who listens to this show, yes.
For film people. The year of Ty West continues. Moving on to the following week, we have July 11th and 12th. We have Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black on Amazon Prime Video. Long Legs, which is a horror film starring, I believe, Micah Monroe, right?
Correct.
Which hits theaters as well.
So Long Legs also has one of the most interesting trailers I've seen in a long time. It's a cool mixture of So the film is a blend of mockumentary and narrative film, piecing together crime scenes and then also seeing them take place, it looks like. And their marketing has been fantastic. I saw their last trailer 2 weeks ago, and it opened with just like one image with some crazy text scroll in red. And then we got a couple of odd imagery. Then we got like a cool shot of the villain in like his basement making weird sounds, like holding it for like 20 seconds, and the camera doesn't even move. And then we got a little bit of a montage, but I was like, what the fuck is this movie? I want to see it now, especially after I watched the 9 other AMC trailers before that of a lot of the same stuff we've seen a million times. Then I saw the Long Legs trailer. I was like, okay, this is how people should be marketing their films, because making trailers like this is grabbing people's attention. This looks like it's going to be a big sleeper hit.
And then we have Fly Me to the Moon coming out on Apple TV Plus, which is a movie about a moon mission to space. Descendants: The Rise of Red on Disney Plus, and Sing Sing in theaters. Next up, next weekend, we have July 18th weekend. We have My Spy: The Eternal City on Amazon Prime Video. Skywalker's A Love Story on Netflix. Not sure what that is.
What is this Skywalker's A Love Story?
We also have Find Me Falling on Netflix, Transformers High Moon in theaters, and then here we go, the action movie of the summer besides, well, one of the big ones. We have Twisters in theaters, July 19th, baby. We're 2 months away.
I am absolutely juiced about Twisters, and I saw the trailer the last time I went to the cinema, and I wanted to scream out, "Let's go!" I'm not gonna lie. So Skywalker's A Love Story is actually a documentary about a couple who climbed the world's tallest skyscrapers. And so this story that they're capturing in documentary style is them climbing the last super skyscraper with acrobatics. And so it's this couple that do this in real life.
Guess they didn't have to pay for the rights for that title.
Yeah, I guess
The
not.
name Skywalkers. Interesting.
I think because they pluralized it.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
They got away with it. But it's also a documentary. Maybe that helps as well, because it's not fictional. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and so Transformers High Moon, this is their upcoming animated film.
The origins.
So
the origin story, yeah.
I think it's a cool concept, and it's smart to do. And I'm really looking forward to seeing them release the first bits of animation. But it sounds like a cool idea. And
sure,
it's Megatron and Optimus Prime are buddies. And then we're gonna see some kind of falling out between them. I think that
it's like
I think
sort of
I think
vibe.
I think I remember the lore as being Megatron slept with Optimus Prime's wife, and so I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
I thought you were serious for a second. I was like, what the fuck? This can't be true.
No, I have no idea.
Anthony's telling jokes over there. He's in England for 3 weeks, and look at him now. Moving on to end July, we have The Good Half in theaters. We also have The Fabulous Four in theaters, and also probably going to be the biggest hit of the year, Deadpool 3 in theaters. Probably the only movie that could hit $1 billion in 2024. The insanely anticipated third film in the franchise.
That's prime real estate release-wise, July 16th. That is...
It's the 26th.
26th, sorry, July 26th. That's a great time to release a film. I think that movie's going to make easily 100 million. It could hit up to 150 million because I think people, especially this year, they're craving.
You mean in its opening weekend?
Yeah, opening weekend. I think people are craving a good superhero film right now, and so it's something they miss that we haven't had a great superhero film this year, and
it has really no competition.
Nothing for that entire week. It's the only release, and then before that, it's Transformers will compete with it, Twisters will compete with it, but those films I think are going to be front loaded with their opening weekends, and I think Deadpool will have very strong legs for at least 3 weeks. So Deadpool, I think, can hit $1 billion for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's start getting into August. The first week of August, we have Harold and the Purple Crown, I Used to Be Funny, Kneecap, The Instigators.
The Instigators.
We have Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. I didn't know Sandy was getting a movie on Netflix.
What? That's great.
We have Trap, and then we have Cuckoo, starring Hunter Schafer. Now, The Instigators stars Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. They've done 2 other films together, obviously Will Hunting, and they did a Gus Van Sant film called Jerry back in 2002, a small independent film of two friends on a hike. But it's going to be great to see them on screen together again.
So, Saving a Bikini Bottom is about Bikini Bottom is scooped out of the ocean. So Sandy and SpongeBob head to Sandy's home state of Texas and enlist her family to help save Patrick Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and the rest of the gang.
I had no idea this was coming out.
Me either. That's so funny.
This looks freaking great.
This is a tough weekend for horror because both Trap and Cuckoo are coming out. And I want to see
Trap?
So Trap is the Shyamalan movie.
Oh,
with Josh Hartnett.
That's right.
Which looks
That's what it's called.
Fantastic, but Cuckoo also looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So, man,
but Shyamalan movies always perform well, so Cuckoo might get lost in the shuffle.
I think Cuckoo, if it came out 2 weeks before this, when it was just this film, The Good Half, coming out in theaters a few days before Deadpool, that's when they should have released it because you're competing against Shyamalan. Even it doesn't matter what the film is. Shyamalan movies, they will perform well. So I think that whoever the studios is releasing Cuckoo, they chose a bad weekend, and they got to get it out of that weekend.
I mean, sometimes there's nothing they can do about it. You select that weekend like a year in advance, 2 years in advance sometimes.
Yeah, I guess.
You're booking these dates.
Yeah. They both look fantastic, and I want to see them both.
Yeah. Moving on to the next week of August, we have One Fast Move on Amazon Prime. We have Borderlands in theaters, which seems like the only movie that can eat into the box office of Deadpool 3 at this point.
I don't think Borderlands will be a big hit.
Me neither. The Instigators will go to Apple TV Plus, so after it comes out in theaters 1 week later, it'll be on Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
It Ends With Us will be in theaters. My Old Ass on Amazon Prime Video, and then Trap will also, I think, get a wider release in theaters.
So yeah, Trap is coming out on a limited run first, and then a full wide release. Yeah.
Yep. Borderlands, I'm not sure about.
And It Ends With Us is based on the romance novel of the same name, and is about complications arise when a woman's high school love interest comes back into her life. Classic rom-com setup, starring Blake Lively.
That is right. All right, let's finish up August, and then we'll take our break and then come back to finish up the year. So, we got a great week coming up after this. So the middle week of August 15th on, we have Jackpot on Amazon Prime, which is starring, John Cena and Stephanie Hsu? Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Stephanie Hsu. It's, what's her name? Awkwafina,
it's Awkwafina.
Right?
So,
Awkwafina, she wins the lottery, and legally people can steal the ticket from her.
No. It's not just that. Legally, since Awkwafina won the lottery ticket, legally someone can take the ticket and claim it as their own if they kill her.
Oh, they have to kill her.
So it's like The Purge meets a lottery movie, and so she hires John Cena's character to protect her.
It's really fun.
So it seems like a really fun concept, and I think her and Cena they seem like a really great comedy match made in heaven, and I think it's a really funny concept. It's cool. It's rife for good comedy.
Yeah, so then we have part 2 of Kevin Costner's Horizon: An American Saga.
Yes!
Chapter 2.
Dude, this looks so cool.
It really does.
To release two
The
movies,
wide, really,
yeah, to release 2 movies in the same like 2-month period, man, I love it.
I love it. Love it. Then we have The Good Half gets its wide release. Close to You will come out in theaters. The Union will be on Netflix. And then here we go. Alien Romulus hits theaters the weekend of August 16th. Let's go.
Is this your most anticipated of the year?
Starting right now,
Yeah.
I feel like I have, honestly, I think I have Twisters right now. I think I have Twisters and then Nosferatu, which we'll talk about later. No, obviously
yeah.
Gladiator 2 and Gladiator 2. But I mean, I am hyped for Twisters, not going to lie. I'm very excited about Twisters. But Alien Romulus probably up there as well because I love the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we haven't we've had a great Alien movie lately. I mean, I really do like Alien Covenant a lot. I enjoy Prometheus. But I mean, going back to the roots with Alien Romulus and staying in that same time period, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I would say Alien Romulus is in the top 5 of my most anticipated films remaining on the year. Hold, please, for one moment. I gotta read.
I think I heard Anthony's his video feed go off. So let me continue while he turns his camera back on. And we'll talk about the next week in August. We have Between the Temples in theaters. Then we have Zoe Kravitz's film Blink Twice, formerly known as Pussy Island, which I think was such a better title. Blink Twice will come out in theaters that weekend of August 23rd.
How you feeling that trailer?
Channing Tatum.
How you feeling that trailer?
I think it looks interesting, but it's a new, very common trend in horror or mystery and thrillers is like the billionaire tech guy who's really an evil guy, killing people. It's just. I feel like it's just been overdone lately.
It's becoming a trope.
I feel like we get like 5 of them a year these days. Or if they're not exactly that same sort of thing, it's something similar. Like Glass Onion has that same kind of feel. The Menu had that same sort of feel. And
yeah.
I like them, but it's starting to become a trope. But I'm very curious about the film.
I mean, I'm not too keen on the film. I'll probably watch it, but I'm not sure. I guess the trailer to make up my mind.
I'm down for it. I wish they kept the title Pussy Island. If they kept it Pussy Island, I would have been so much more inclined to see it. But I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Great title, yeah, great original title. And then also on August 23rd, we have a huge, what it could be a potential franchise in The Crow, starring Bill Skarsgård and FKA Twigs. Obviously, they're hoping to launch this into a long-standing franchise for the future. All I know is it does look pretty intriguing, but for the most part, it has not received much love on the internet from many movie fans. So I'd say overwhelming response for this trailer when it came out a couple months ago was it's all right.
So the end of August, we have 2 other films getting released. We have They Listen, which will get a theatrical release. This is a horror movie coming out from Sony Pictures. And what is the synopsis of this?
It sounds like it's at least as long as even if they're monsters, at least they listen. You know, at least
plot is kept under wraps. But starring David Dastmalchian.
Of course it is. Yeah, he's perfect for horror.
And it's being written and directed by Chris Weitz, who
one of the Weitz
Rogue
brothers.
One. He wrote Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep.
Rogue One. About a Boy. Actually, wow, really great writer.
Yeah, his brother Andrew Weitz directed a bunch of movies, and they've worked together a lot in the past, obviously. But he is the second half of that duo. But they direct separately, but his brother's directed way more movies than him.
Yeah, Matt has directed.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris has directed 12 movies.
Yeah, he's done a ton.
The Golden Compass, Twilight Saga, New Moon, A Better Life, Operation Finale, About a Boy. And then we also have Reagan, which is coming out in theaters. What is Reagan? Is that...
It's the Dennis Quaid Ronald Reagan film.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a biopic about Reagan starring Quaid. He looks like him. I saw a photo. They released a still. It looks like him.
Yeah, it looks like he pulls it off because obviously he's a movie star, just like Reagan was.
Yeah.
It'd be an interesting movie. I wonder how that'll do.
Yeah, I'm not sure it will perform well because people don't like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I think it's not just people don't like Ronald Reagan. It's 50-50, obviously. Yeah. I don't know if the president biopics really perform very well anymore. Not since Brolin was in one. He did he did W. W, which is pretty good. But I don't know if people are really into watching president films anymore.
I think that since nobody likes presidents anymore, I agree with you.
Barack is still loved by many
he's
people.
not a president anymore, but it's just like, I think you're absolutely right. Like, nobody wants to watch a movie about a president right now.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
I don't see the point, unless it's a great story, but why tell the story of Ronald Reagan? Is it really, do we need it? So I'm not sure anyone will turn out for that one.
Yeah, no one's making a movie about Jimmy Carter. Like, we don't need it.
Yeah, it's like, it would just be called Carter.
Carter. It would be.
Or it would be called Jimmy.
Jimmy. Anyways, how about we run to our intermission? We'll take our break, and then we'll get to the rest of the year because we have finished up the summer months. And we'll move on to September, and later on, that's when we'll get a lot of the potential Best Picture contenders in awards films. So, before we continue, the best way to support Raiders of the Lost Podcast is to become a patron at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Why would you want to do this? Because you get awesome perks like access to the ad-free version of every single episode, so you could be listening to this episode without the commercial breaks, not to mention bonus episodes every single week. You get access to our Discord, which is a great film community, as well as other perks like merch, video messages, watch parties, private watch parties, stuff like that. Thank you to everyone who has become a patron or is a patron in the past, present, and future. You're the reason we can do the show full-time. It's only possible because of you, so thank you so much for everyone who is a patron and supporting us. Also, a great way to support the show is to leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. These are integral to helping us get seen and discovered by new people and chart on podcast charts pretty high, as if we can. Also, at 5,000 Apple ratings, I'll get a tattoo of Anthony's choice. We got to get those numbers up, everybody.
Let's go.
Far away. We're about halfway there. I will read a written Apple review in just a minute. And also, another great way to support the show is just share us with your family and friends. Word of mouth is the best way for a podcast to grow. So tell everyone about Raiders of the Lost Podcast.
This episode, like always, is sponsored by our friends at movieposters.com, the number one place to get your posters online today. Be sure to use our promo code Raiders10 right now at movieposters.com to get 10% off your order immediately. They have a huge selection of pretty much every movie and TV show imaginable in their poster library, as well as all sorts of sizes, framing, and even backlighting for your poster needs. James, we just got a backlight poster, and it looks amazing on that set.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to get here to help me hang it up because I want to do it with 2 people, and I don't want to break it. Because it's so beautiful and gorgeous, but it's a little heavy because it's a backlight frame, literally what you get in a movie theater. It's absolutely incredible. I got a Fellowship of the Ring one. It looks so goddamn good, but I need Anthony's help because I want to make sure it goes up really well and stays there forever.
You don't want that wall to fall on top of you.
Yeah, but it's really sensational. I think it's one of my favorite purchases that I've ever made in my entire life. And of course, I got a discount because they're our sponsor, so use Raiders10 today at movieposters.com to get a discount on your orders right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you ready for this intermission, guy?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. I'll go first. Listen, I appreciate this whole seduction scene you've got going on, but let me give you a tip. I'm a sure thing, okay? So I'm an hourly rate. Could we just move it along?
Hold on. Say it again, please.
Listen, I appreciate this whole seduction scene you've got going on, but let me give you a tip. I'm a sure thing, okay? I'm on an hourly rate. Can we just move along?
Is that Deuce Bigelow?
No.
I don't know.
Pretty Woman.
Oh, you did a good impression of her.
Yeah, I tried to do like
that.
Was it New York, like Bronx accent?
Yeah, you did a good impression. Well done. You are a pretty woman.
That's weird.
All right, here's my quote. You know what we get to do today, Brooks? We get to play baseball.
Oh, what is that? Say it one more time.
You know what we get to do today, Brooks? We get to play baseball.
What baseball movie is this? 8 Men Out?
It is not.
Is it... I'm trying to think of a Brooks character in a baseball movie. Is it Bull Durham?
Nope. It is not.
What is it?
The Rookie, starring
The
Dennis Quaid.
Rookie!
Starring none
Dennis
other than
Quaid!
Dennis Quaid.
Oh, man.
I gotcha.
That was good.
Us talking about him made me be like, oh, let me do some Dennis Quaid trivia.
All right, guess this movie release year. Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2 came out
Yep.
in 2003.
1999.
Oh, fuck. I was
Toy
way
Story 2
off.
came out in 1999.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Yeah, the year of 1999.
It was not the year of Ty West?
Nope, it was the greatest year of cinema history.
All right, great point, yeah. All right, James. What year did The Rookie come out?
Oh, man, how old were we?
We
I'm
loved
trying to
it.
think, were we in high school or middle school? I'm going to say 2003.
2002.
Oh, my God. One off, one away.
Swing away, James. Swing away.
What a banger.
Great movie.
You're referencing signs.
Swing away. I'm gonna need
You're
a
all
ride
over the
home.
place.
I'm gonna need a ride home.
Oh, my God. All right, movie pop quiz time. Who did the score for Spider-Man 3?
Oh fuck. Oh man. I don't fucking know who did the score for this.
Because this is when Danny Elfman and Raimi had a falling out.
Yeah. Oh man. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Who the fuck did the score? I'm gonna throw a few guesses at you. David Arnold,
No.
Henry Jackman,
No.
Harry Gregson Williams,
No.
Silvestri.
No.
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Christopher Young.
Oh, he did Drag Me to Hell. Obviously,
Yeah.
fucking stupid. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't get that.
He did Rounders. He did the... What else has he done? Let me pull up his discography. The Offering. There's a lot of horror movies.
Yeah, I should have gotten it because he did Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, he's a big horror guy. He does a lot of independent horror movies.
Yeah, it seems it's his strength as a composer, and he does
Deliver Us from Evil.
Yeah,
The Tall Man. Yeah, he's done a bunch of horror movies lately. And in the past. All right. What's your question?
Dennis Quaid played Jake Gyllenhaal's father in what movie?
Oh, shit. What movie? Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. It's not October Sky. Obviously not Donnie Darko. Damn.
Think I got him again.
Holy, what fucking movie?
You know this, man. You know this.
Do I?
You're gonna be super pissed if you
Jarhead.
don't. No.
Significant.
He's one of the leads of the film.
Dennis Quaid?
Significant role, yeah.
And Jake's one of the leads?
Yep. In a way, they're both co-leads of the film.
They're both co-leads.
Like
of the film.
Dennis Quaid has a ton of screen time in it.
Hmm.
I can give you a hint if you would like it.
Sure.
Weather is a main theme.
Weather.
Weather.
Oh my God! The Day After Tomorrow.
Yep.
Holy shit! I forgot about that movie. And then what? It's Emily Rossum is
Emmy
the
Rossum.
girlfriend, right?
Yeah, Emmy
Rossum, yeah.
Not girlfriend. She's just a love interest, okay?
The friend that he has a crush on.
Yes, yes.
Wow, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, pretty good movie.
That was a good question.
Thanks, man.
Because Jake's still really young in that. Was
Yeah,
that
he's
like
super young.
2001?
It was 2004.
Wow.
We were prime age for that one.
Yeah. Good question, man. All right. Do we have any haters this week? What do we got? What are we working
Oh
with?
yeah, we got a ton of
Any
great
unsubscribes?
ones. I got some heat this week.
Oh, yeah.
I deserved it. Okay, so we got.
What'd you do? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Angel Sosa wrote, Tyler tells the narrator outside, just ask, man. Not inside, sitting down. He was right. Half subscribed.
I was right.
Half
Fuck
right.
yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
You're half right. Half subscribed.
At least I was some right. Fuck yeah.
And then, one moment. I thought I had more. I think that's all this week. Oh, sorry. I thought I had a bunch more, but we recorded them. Yeah, that's
Wow,
it.
he just built so much suspense saying he had so much heat, but here we go, just one. But that was a good one. That was a good one.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, I'm
really sorry.
I have a great 5-star review from Cherry Waves 222. 5-star rating, 5 out of 5.
Nice.
5 stars. That's all their headline. Like, there's a bunch of. So, as a cinephile, always on the hunt for insightful and engaging content, Raiders of the Lost podcast has quickly become my go-to source for all things film. This podcast is a veritable treasure trove of movie knowledge, passionate discussions, and entertaining banter. Wow, I love the vocab already.
Great stuff.
From the moment you hit play, it's clear that the brothers are not just hosts. They are true movie aficionados with a deep love and understanding of the cinematic world. Their enthusiasm is infectious, and their chemistry as brothers brings a unique and charming dynamic to the show. Each episode is meticulously researched and thoughtfully curated, ensuring that listeners are treated to high-quality content every time. I'm halfway through this review, but this is so well written, Cherry Waves. Wow. Are you a writer? Wow.
They must be.
One of the standout features is its diversity of topics, whether they are diving deep into the latest blockbuster, dissecting a classic film, or exploring hidden gems. The Deveney brothers approach each subject with equal parts expertise and enthusiasm. Their reviews are insightful and balanced, providing both praise and constructive criticism in a way that feels fair and thoughtful. Raiders of the Lost podcast isn't just for hardcore movie buffs. It's accessible and enjoyable for anyone with an interest in film. Whether you're a casual viewer or a seasoned critic, James and Anthony make you feel welcomed and valued. That might be the best review I've ever read.
That was a phenomenal review.
That was so
well written,
thoughtfully written,
so articulate,
insightful,
so kind.
Wow,
so glowing. That was great.
What a fantastic review, Cherry
God.
Waves 222.
Cherry
Waves, terrific.
Cherry Waves, I feel like defined the podcast perfectly.
Goodness, I need you to. Can you write when I eventually get married? Can you write my wedding vows for me? That was terrific. Oh my gosh, I'm so moved. Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful review.
It's amazing.
I appreciate it.
Well done. Well done.
All right, Anthony, what is your streaming recommendation for this episode?
I recommend Bean. Rowan Atkinson's famous character.
I thought you said Bane.
Bean. So that's
Bean.
how he says it. He says.
Yeah. Well, can you say it for everyone? Can you say? You literally said Bane.
Bane.
Bean. Just call it Bean, Anthony.
I love Bean. It's on Netflix. It was really funny, and it was just hilarious. And then I watched Bean's Holiday, and it was not good. Mr. Bean's Holiday is not good. I'm sorry. Not funny. I had one laugh, but Bean is so fucking funny. And what happened was with Mr. Bean's Holiday, they did it like 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And he was such a hit of a character. And Mr. Bean's Holiday is so well photographed with so beautiful crane shots and incredible lighting. It just takes away the comedy. And when I was watching the film, I'm like, why are we getting beautiful, warm sunset light through the windows here? It's a Mr. Bean movie. What the fuck is going on? We have this crazy crane shot, and we're getting an unbelievable profile of him standing in a huge, tall grass field. I'm like, this is not an artsy movie, guys. Whereas Bean, it's just a bunch of simple shots, and it just lets him do what he does. And so Mr. Bean's Holiday, it felt like a completely different thing. It did not work for me. It was super boring. But
it seems like when studios overthink things.
Yeah, like they had a ton of money, and they were like, let's just fucking use every bell and whistle we can. Whereas Bean, it was so simple that it worked in terms of capturing the magic of his comedy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
My recommendation is going to be a Denis Villeneuve film on Amazon Prime Video, Sicario.
Nice, dude.
Which gets better and better every time I watch it. It's so effing good.
I did Bean, and you did Sicario.
Hell yeah. All right, let's get back into our episode of the remaining releases of 2024 to look forward to. Let's start off with the first week of September. We have Beetlejuice, the sequel to Beetlejuice, is coming out in theaters, as well as we have an untitled Disney project that I don't know what that is yet. I don't know what it is. That's all I got was untitled Disney project.
No, that's the title of the film.
Which could be a lot of things, because Disney is
it's everything.
Obviously 20th Century Studios, Hulu, Disney,
Pixar, Marvel,
yeah, so
Star
it
Wars.
could be anything.
It could be anything.
But Beetlejuice, Tim Burton coming back to that world. Trailer looks pretty solid.
They've just released a teaser, so I'm really looking forward to them dropping a full trailer. I would expect them to drop the full trailer in the summer.
Okay.
Because you don't want to drop a trailer too early, because then upcoming movies will distract people and make them forget about it.
Yeah, good point. Next up, we have another, I'm assuming a horror movie based on the title.
Yeah, so this is the James McAvoy.
Oh, this is the McAvoy one.
Yeah, Speak No Evil, yeah.
This one looks so good. So basically, this family goes on, it looks like a vacation somewhere in Europe, and then they meet a couple in another family, and that family invites them over. They seem completely normal, but then James McAvoy's character, the father of the other family that invites them to their home, starts to begin acting more and more weird and eerie and dangerous. It looks excellent.
It looks really good, and it's a remake of a Danish film, but this looks like a really cool, solid remake. And McAvoy, he is, in my opinion, one of the most talented actors alive, and so him back in the horror genre gets me very excited.
All right. Let's get into the next week of September. We have... So Transformers 1 is hitting theaters.
This is the origin animated film.
Okay, so this is the animated one?
Yeah, this is the... Yeah,
what's Transformers High Moon?
I don't know, man. I mixed them up.
Okay,
so Transformers 1 is the Hemsworth animated one.
All right, so everyone who was screaming at their radios 40 minutes ago, this is the one. Sorry about that.
And then the Wild Robot, which is a really great looking animated film about a small, cute robot that's shipwrecked on a deserted island. His name is Roz, and he must learn to adapt to his new surroundings. Building relationships with the native animals, Roz soon develops a parental bond with an orphan gosling. So it looks like a really cute, sweet film starring Kid O'Connor, Pedro Pascal, Bill Nighy, and Stephanie Hsu.
And also who else is in that? Lupita Nyong'o. Did you say Lupita?
I did not.
Lupita's the star of the film. I'm actually going to a sneak peek of the Wild Robot at DreamWorks Studios lot this week. I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, fuck yeah. I can't go to that, unfortunately. I would have loved to go.
So yeah, I'm going to get to go to the DreamWorks lot where they make their movies.
That's awesome.
Get a sneak peek. Lupita will be there.
No way.
And actually, it's Lupita who plays Roz. Who'd you say played Roz?
I didn't say who played Roz.
Okay, so yeah, Lupita plays Roz, the robot.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was on the Google page and she wasn't even there. I bet like when you see her in person, you're gonna be like, "Wow, that's the most beautiful person I've ever seen."
Yeah, she's very pretty. She's very pretty. So yeah, I'll let you all know what I think of the sneak peek when I go to see that, and it should be a fun time. We also have Wolves coming out.
So this is the new John Watts' new film starring Clooney and Pitt, and as well as Amy Ryan. And it's a psychological thriller written and directed by John Watts. So he must have been developing this while he was making his Spider-Man films. Stars Clooney and Pitt, and it's all we know so far is that they are two fixers who are assigned the same job. And so they end up having to work together to do a fix.
All right.
That's all we know so far.
Two legends, man. Two legends. Moving on to the next week of September, we have an untitled Monkey Paw horror thriller project. This is a Jordan Peele produced film. So that's his production company, Monkey Paw. And then we also have Never Let Go hitting theaters. Moving on to October, we have
big one,
Joker Folie à Deux coming out on October 4th in theaters.
How excited are you for this?
Insanely excited. Top 5 most anticipated for the rest of the year for sure. I love Joker, and I can't wait to see this film. I think the trailer looks fantastic. The references to classical Hollywood as well as recent movies like La La Land are clearly there, as well as, we're just going to get something new and fresh, I think, from the comic book genre. I'm excited about it.
I think this movie is gonna blow everybody's fucking hair back, and I don't think that anybody really knows what to expect yet. Still, because we haven't even seen them singing yet, so I cannot wait. And I wonder when they do drop the final trailer, because they've just dropped the teaser. I wonder if they'll show them singing in the final trailer, because we do know that studios like to hide the fact that their musicals are musicals. But I think that Todd Phillips is someone who like sticks to his guns. So I think in the final trailer, I think that we're gonna get them singing.
All right, let's talk about the rest of October. We have Piece by Piece, which is hitting theaters, A Real Pain. And then the end of October, we have Wolfman hitting theaters. Here we go. And then Venom, The Last Dance.
So Piece by Piece actually is a documentary that's animated with Legos, which tells the story of Pharrell Williams' life.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then Wolfman, I have high hopes for, because Lee Wannell's a terrific director and writer, and they have an excellent cast. And I think that if you do a Wolfman movie right, it could be excellent. Excellent stuff.
And then Venom: The Last Dance, which will be the last Venom movie. Last Venom movie. But it doesn't mean the character won't show up and stuff. Let's move on to November. Here we go. Big month. First off, in the first week, we have Conclave, limited release in theaters. Then it expands in its second week in November 8th weekend to wide release. We also have The Amateur and The Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
So there's an interesting film called Conclave, also starring Ralph Fiennes, which is...
I said it twice.
Oh, sorry.
I literally said Conclave twice, Anthony.
So this movie Conclave, I don't know if you mentioned...
This fucking guy.
It stars Ralph Fiennes, and he plays Cardinal Lawrence in the Vatican, who's tasked with selecting a new pope. But he finds himself at the center of a conspiracy that could shape the Catholic Church forever. Sounds like a really cool setup for a film. I haven't seen a trailer yet, but there are a couple of images, and it looks really interesting. Stanley Tucci and John Lithgow also star in the film alongside Isabella Rossellini. So I'm definitely going to see this. This sounds really cool.
Hell yeah. Then moving on next in the midweek of November 15th, we have Back in Action on Netflix. Then Here in select theaters, which gets a wider release the week later of November 22nd. But let's get into November 22nd anyways, because that's when we have the release of Gladiator fucking 2, which means we should probably be getting a trailer very soon or something, at least a teaser. And this is obviously one of our most anticipated films, I think, of the decade, to be honest, at this point. Of the decade.
It is called Gladiator fucking 2, right?
Yeah, the fucking's in there.
So, I actually went to a prop house in northern England last week, and they supplied a ton of props for Gladiator 2. Huge.
Oh, that's so cool.
Huge wooden wagons. It was like mostly wagons and sheds and barrels and all sorts of like giant pieces of woodworked items. And they just got them all back. But so I toured like a bunch of props as well as a ton of tools that they used in Gladiator 2. So I thought it was just so cool. And I was just like by myself checking them all out, which is really fun.
That's really awesome. Yeah, one of our listeners, I won't say who it is, keep them anonymous, but they worked in the prop house of Gladiator 2, helping build swords and shields and chainmail and all that stuff. So they told us that it looks epic, and they're doing it for real because it's a Ridley Scott movie, and they're really going full wardrobe, weaponry, making it as real and as authentic as possible.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And so the movie the movie Here is actually a reuniting of Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis and writer Eric Roth. They all three of them collaborated on Forrest Gump. And it's about a story that covers the events of a single plot of land and its inhabitants spanning from the past well into the future.
All right. I heard your camera go out again, Anthony, so why don't you go turn that thing back on? And I'll talk about the following week of November. We have an untitled Disney animation project in theaters. I'm assuming that's Moana 2. And then we have Wicked Part 1, I didn't even know this was going to be a 2-part film.
Yeah, neither did
So
I.
Wicked Part 1 is hitting theaters November 27th.
That will be a massive hit. Absolutely huge banger of a film, I guarantee it. Because that musical...
Yeah, it'll probably be like a 30 million opening weekend for sure.
Yeah, I would say 50 to 60 opening weekend because the musical is long running and it's wildly beloved and still runs all over the world. So I think that movie could pull in 50 to 60 million opening weekend. It could be a big hit, 400 million global.
Could be, yeah. Looks like it. And I mean, the audience really doesn't have anything to compete with for the studio because Gladiator's out, but that's not exactly quite the same audience.
Yeah, not the same
as
overlap.
Wicked.
Yeah. It's
all right,
Wicked.
let's get into December. We got some bangers coming out. So first of all, we have a movie. All we've gotten so far for this is a poster for Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams, coming out on December 6th.
In which she thinks that she's turning into a dog.
That's pretty cool.
That's the plot of the film.
And then the following week, listen to this. We have finally, unless it gets pushed back again, Kraven the Hunter is hitting theaters December 13th, hopefully. And then we have The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, hitting theaters, and eventually it will be on Netflix later on after that, right? Because that's a Netflix film? Or is it Max?
Max.
Okay, Max.
So,
I could have sworn it was Netflix.
is it Netflix?
Let me double check.
Double check it. This is going to be
I thought it was Netflix.
this is going to be the animated film with Brian Cox leading the cast as the leader of this resistance, and I think this. We haven't seen any footage. We've seen a couple of concept art images, but I think there's a lot of potential here, and it's a story that nobody really has any familiarity with, so it's super fun. Kraven the Hunter. We'll see. I'd like to see another trailer, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. But maybe a second trailer will warm me up to it more than it already has. I know you're a little more anticipated of it than I am.
Well, I mean, I feel like for me, and I think I can probably speak for a lot of film people out there, is that I was excited about it when that trailer came out, and you know, Aaron Taylor Johnson bites that guy's nose off, and that was so long ago though, and I feel like that desire to see the movie, obviously I want to see it, but the desire to see it like that I had like a year ago is just. It's gone away a lot, you know. It's just been so long that flame has, you know, gone out. Obviously, they'll probably bring out some more trailers and teasers soon, but I mean, it's been pushed back so much that people are probably a little frustrated with how much it's been delayed.
Here's an idea.
So I don't,
maybe because it got so much hate online, maybe they changed the story a little bit. Because not a single person was happy with the change of the character of protecting animals rather than being a hunter. So maybe they listened to the internet and listened to the reactions and they've been reworking the story, which is the reason for the setbacks.
I doubt that. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think they did extensive really reshoots probably because Aaron Taylor Johnson's super busy. He's been in so many movies lately. I don't know. They probably did some reshoots and changed some things here and there. They're probably just trying to figure something out. I don't know, but I don't know. It's been delayed so much. This movie's supposed to come out over a year ago.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's nuts, and it is what it is. But yeah, my excitement for it just gets lower and lower every month. But eventually it'll kick back. Because I wanted to see it a year ago. You know.
Now you're like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's everyone's like, oh, I forgot this movie's coming out.
And
Finally
also,
it's coming out.
Jim,
I guess I'll go see it.
Jim, you're gonna be way too busy watching Mufasa Origins to
Yeah,
worry
because
about
that's
Kraven.
coming out the next week. Mufasa, the Lion King, comes out the next week because we needed that.
Mufasa, the orphan.
The orphan Mufasa. I thought he was a prince. I guess not. Oliver Twist, the lion, coming out competing with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which the Sonic movies do well. They do well, man. So I think Disney has got some contention. On its
Sony
hands,
versus
a contender
Disney
for best of the.
This
of
is
the
a
week.
heavyweight boxing match.
The Sonic movies perform really well. I enjoy the Sonic movies a lot. I really like the last one, except for the wedding sequences. If they cut the wedding sequences out, that movie would have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. The movie is so funny. I think the hardest I laughed all year was the gag in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where he made the fake version of himself in the attic, and he's they walk up there. It's so funny. It
was good.
It was cracking up. I was laughing the loudest in that theater.
Honestly, I think Sonic might give Lion King a run for its money because kids love Sonic. Kids and teenagers love Sonic. And
I do too, man.
I don't think the Lion King's that hot right now with young kids. I think that it's a movie that parents will take their little kids to. But in terms of like kids and young teens, Sonic's going to be their choice, I think.
If I had to pick, I would go see Sonic, honestly.
Yeah.
What new can they tell us with the Lion King with Mufasa that we haven't seen before? It's gonna be the Lion King, except it's gonna be the Lion King. It's gonna be the same story.
Yeah.
Basically.
Same thing.
We'll see. And then to round out the year, on Christmas Day, we have one of our most anticipated movies of the year, Nosferatu.
I can't wait for this film, and I can't wait to finally get a trailer. I don't know when we're going to get one, but I am just waiting, counting down the days until we can get a trailer of this film. And this is probably, you know what? This is my most anticipated left of the year. This is it.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Eggers is one of the most exciting directors working today. And, he did The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman. And now he's remaking or doing basically a retelling of Nosferatu. Incredible cast: Anya Taylor-Joy, Bill Skarsgård.
No, it's Lily Rose Depp.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron Taylor-Johnson. The hyphen name just
I mix them up.
I
say them a lot too. I mix them up.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Bill Skarsgård, Ralph Ineson, and then Lily Rose Depp, as well as Emma Corrin's in this. Willem Dafoe's in this. Just Nicholas Hoult. The cast is insane. It's an absolutely insane cast.
It's a hot cast.
Cannot wait. It's a really hot cast. Really hot cast. So that's rounding out the year. And so I'm really excited about the rest of this year. We've had, obviously, like you said, some of the best movies of the century have come out already. A couple, maybe at least one. But we still have some really, really good movies to look forward to this year. All types of genres. We got some great horror movies. We got some comedies.
And also, I'm guessing Megalopolis would get distribution for sometime this year. We just don't know it yet.
Oh, yeah. So Megalopolis, there's no date. They're looking, it's most likely going to be, I believe, September. That's the last thing I read about it. Mm-hmm. So September, October, we'll get a fall release for Megalopolis. It'll be limited in IMAX to 20 cities, and then it'll have a theatrical wide release elsewhere. But I believe that'll be coming out in September.
Cool. So I think he's just still waiting to get distribution. So it just played at Cannes, and so they're probably talking to distributors right now about who's going to buy the rights to it.
Yeah. So very much looking forward to that as well. Great shout. Totally forgot about it. But that wraps our episode on everything coming out the rest of the year for 2024. Let us know on the Spotify prompt what you're most looking forward to seeing in theaters in 2024. And thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Raiders of Lost Podcast. Become a patron today at patreon.com/Raiders of Lost Podcast. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And take care, everybody.
See you next time.
This episode was executive produced by our chosen one patrons, Cody Moen, Andrew Hagan, Becca Keene, Benjamin Cook, Calvin Murphy-Griggs, Nicholas Martin, Darian Singleton, Tyler McFly, Andrew Hagan. Our chosen one patrons are our biggest supporters. Thank you so much. Raiders of the Lost Podcast is a mirror image production. Sound mixing done by Jacob Kossler. Opening music by Chase Jackson. Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.